Oh, there we go. It has been done, it has been achieved, and if we examine the Shrimpy pair, which we got at 35 KC, we have now 100 KC. I've spent about 20 hours of this week and 12 hours of today smashing out kilns, and we have finally completed the 51 that we did need left for the 100 requirement for final boss. Now, I may as well price check the 51 onyxes that I've achieved throughout the week, and obviously today, with it being the weekend, and it comes to 74 mil within around 3 days of doing kilns constantly. Obviously, I've been working, so I've only been doing around 2 to 3 hours per night at kilns during the week, and today I have smashed out 25 kilns, which equates to, if we add in 25, then it equates to 36.2 mil. So yeah, 36.2 mil done today in about 12 hours of kilns. Obviously it isn't great GP per hour, but yeah, it is done, it's out of the way now. It looks quite cool, and it is obviously the road to 100 onyxes is now going strong, especially now I can start Araxxor, which is going to be great. Right then, so kicking it off with some raids. Done a lot of raids in this episode, so you know, be ready for a lot of raids loot. It hasn't been the best, it's just been consistent loot, I'm going to say that now. Haven't really had many drops, but it's all been stacking up, you know, in techie, and also we've been getting ourselves some of the burial charms, which are going to be used for obviously the reputation, because I need 5,000 reputation or max reputation to be able to reroll drops. So yeah, got a Beastmaster kill to start with, and then we went on to Yaka, and I got myself some Ecto Primeval gloves. So I completed the glove set now. I need to complete the boot set. I haven't even received any boots yet, so I've been kind of unlucky there, but we've got all 3 pairs of gloves so far. The way it works, you know, you need to get all boots and gloves, and then you can move on to getting other armor pieces. I think it's then helms, and then legs, then plate bodies and stuff like that. So yeah, I still need to get a lot of items from raids, but you know, I'm doing them consistently now, which is great. Found myself a team to do them, and yeah, it's pretty nice going. The only XP that I can gain there is agility, so that is the reason why I do take Silverhawks, if any of you guys are wondering why I don't bother taking a DPS boots. Well, it's because I want the agility XP. So yeah, we are around 184 mil agility XP now for anyone interested, and once I hit 200 mil, that's when I'll ditch the Silverhawks and start using DPS boots like Virtus or even the turn 90 dice boots. So yeah, coming in with a few more remaining raids kills for this part of this episode. What I've done is I've ordered all the clips of me doing PVM during this episode, so there is a few more raids clips throughout this episode, so don't worry about that. I just haven't bunched them all up together. What I've done is I've decided to obviously get some variety on the go and put them later on in the video. So coming in with the last Yaka kill for the time being, and we are hoping for either a drop or a burial charm, which, let's have a look at the loot then. It is just general loot. We got ourselves a burial charm, which is great, and it goes into reputation. Then I moved on to doing clue scrolls. Coming in with an elite right here, which I re-rolled for 160k, Bandos Chaps and an ancient plate body, which will go into the bank. And then we moved on to doing a hard clue, which was a fairly poor reward, which I decided to re-roll again, and we got 823k, which was 2 puzzle skipping tickets, which was very nice. To be honest, I was quite surprised about that. So then I decided to go to Araxxor and start the grind for the second leg. So first loot there is rune plate bodies. Now with Araxxor, what I'm doing is I'm banking every single drop. I'm not bothering rolling anything for the pet, I'm just going to bank absolutely everything and hope we get the pet as a normal drop. Then coming in there, we got a spider leg top, which means it is the start of a new spider leg, which will be fantastic when I complete that. It'll be nice to have more than one leg in the bank. And yeah, like I said, all the drops I'm keeping, even Triskelion fragments. I'm not bothering re-rolling anything, just because I want to keep absolutely everything and get the base pet as a world message rather than as a re-roll. So yeah, also when you're doing path 1 you get minions, and it is annoying when they spawn on Araxxor. They should just die instantly when the boss dies, but they don't. You have to like mess about and kill them, or eventually after a few seconds of the boss dying they do end up dying. Onyx bolts there, 176 though, was a very nice reward. It's a few mil there at least. Coming in with another kill, and we got ourselves magic seeds there, which I was sort of hyped for the drop, but then I realised the price of them, and they are so cheap now, magic seeds. If you're going for like 99, 120 or 200 mil farming and you don't do farming runs, then I would actually recommend you doing tree runs now with palms and magic seeds being fairly cheap now, so yeah, it is really worth it if you do have the GP to do so. So yeah, also drops such as rune plate bodies and brews, which I did re-roll in my road to max cash. I look back now and I think that the amount of cash that I've wasted by re-rolling brews and rune plate bodies was quite ridiculous. So that is yet another reason why I didn't want to re-roll any drops anymore, is to, like I've said in previous episodes, to kind of stop being roasted by a few people in the comments, which was quite funny to see at the time. You guys going absolutely mental at me. So I've stopped all that now just by keeping absolutely everything from Araxxor and just chucking it all in the tab and seeing it grow and build up over time. I think that's the best option for me to do. And just eventually, over perseverance, I will end up getting this base pet no matter what. Well, I should end up getting this base pet no matter what. Hopefully I can get it before 1000 kill count, but if not, then it's no worries, because it'll look pretty cool when I do end up getting Barry and Mallory with over 1000 Araxxor KC, because the drop rates are kind of so low there for the boss pets. They're quite easy to get. And then the last kill coming in with Onyxes. Alright, now it is Vorago time, coming in with the first kill there, and it is a seismic wand, and that went to Devon. Now, I usually do record reactions and add them in, but this reaction was so basic. It was just like a shrug of the shoulders. Oh, a seismic wand, that's it, let's move on. So as you can see, 42.9 mil was the split there. I think it was a 5-man kill, and then cracking on with the rest of the kills. Now, I wanted to speak about Vorago as well. I took a lot of feedback on board from the last episode where I included all the Vorago kills that I did do, and what I've done, I have cut out the ones which I don't really get many drops. As you can see there, I got 4 out of 5 drops, and that is what I'm going to be planning on showing, is drops that I get 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. And it's quite good to see me sort of starting off on this episode using a yak, and then towards the end of the Vorago kills I was doing it very comfortably with a Nihil, which was great, and coming in there with another 4 drops. And yeah, people ask me as well about the stack value. I'm going to touch up on this as well. A lot of comments on this, a lot of questions, and the stack value or the drop value shown on the ground for me there is because I do have Rune Metrics Pro. Now that is obviously what you can buy with a few bonds in game, and I think it's like 2 bonds or one bond for a month. And yeah, it's very useful. It shows you which is the most valuable drop out of all of them, especially at Vorago. So yeah, that is that cleared up. So yeah, let me know on how you think about how I'm going to be going around these Vorago kills, showing all the kills that I do get every time we do get 3 or more personal drops in a kill. I think that'll be a lot beneficial in the long run, rather than showing every single Vorago kill where I could go 20 hours of Vorago in an episode and showing every single kill. I do think that would be slightly long-winded. So yeah, that is my thought and opinion. And then the final kill then, we got ourselves 3 drops again. I think it was 3 drops or 4 drops. Yeah, 3 drops, and we got a treasure hunter key, which seeing that message just made me kind of annoyed. Right then, cracking on with some more raids, and I only need raids, believe it or not, for the final boss title. So in the future, when I get closer to the 100 KCs on Beastmaster and Yaka, I might end up camping the bosses just to get the KC if I could loot or not, regardless, just to help a few people out. And then coming in with this Yaka kill, the drop kind of stunned me, and I had to look it up to see how the rarity of it. You can see it there. We got ourselves an effigy, and after I realised it was it was noted down as a very rare drop, I was quite salty, I'm not gonna lie. But nonetheless, we've got 3 effigies now in the bank, working towards our goal of 5. So obviously, every time we get an effigy, theoretically the drop rate for an effigy then increases, or it becomes more rarer. So yeah, that is the plan for me. I've got 3 out of 5 effigies in the bank now, which is not too bad, and I can now safely say I've had an effigy from raids, so that's pretty cool as well. Also, I've been feeling a little bit more confident doing Yaka now, and I've been picking up a few other roles to do rather than just sitting there and DPSing the boss. I've been CPR, poison tank occasionally, and also stun DPS on Mirage, which is very nice. In the future though, I do want to build up my confidence and experience at Yaka a lot more, and use the ability to use a Steel Titan. It's not really worth it though if you're in a group of people that all have yaks, because you're not really making that much of a difference. The kill is still going to be kind of long, but if you're with a team which has the majority of Steel Titans, then definitely it'll be worth it, and that is what I'm hoping to be my end goal at raids, is to use a Steel Titan at Beastmaster, which I'm currently doing, and to progress that Titan on to Yaka, which will be good in the long run. So at Araxxor then, the rotation of the boss changed. It was actually paths 2 and 3 when I come to do this Araxxor little session here, and I decided to get ourselves, or try and go for a middle leg piece at least, with us having a 2 tops, 1 middle and 1 bottom in the bank. Obviously want to make progress towards 2 full legs now. First drop was an onyx drop, which was very nice, up to 54 onyxes in the bank now. Then we got a fair amount and 2 ceramic scales with some brews, so that drop there alone was worth quite a lot, maybe like almost 4 mil maybe, or 3.5 mil at least. And then finally, after around, I think it was 12 kills doing the path 2, we got the middle leg piece. So that puts us at 2 middles now. We're only waiting on 1 more bottom piece until we can make 2 more legs. No hilts though yet, no fangs, eyes or webs just yet. I'm kind of unlucky on them, but never mind. And then coming in with another 2 onyxes, which puts us at 56, I do believe, which was pretty nice. Alright then, so we are on to that time of the episode then, where we go through the boss kills, our current boss kills, and then also the current loot tab, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So if we open up then the boss info and then go on to boss kills. From episode 3, we ended up at episode 3 with 23,264 KC, and we are now at 24,093. So we've done a fairly decent amount, a good 800 bosses there within one episode, which is quite surprising really. It hasn't felt like it, to be honest, but yeah, we've done quite a lot in this episode, surprisingly. We've done around 60 Araxxor kills. I wanted to get to 600. But unfortunately I got distracted by other things and failed that goal, but we'll hit that definitely for episode 5. We are at 558 at the moment. And another thing is, if we just scroll down, I haven't really done much things at the top. We've obviously finished the 100 Har-Aken, which is a nice amount of KC. That is probably where a decent amount comes from anyway. And then if we scroll down, we also have the Jads down here, which is 718 Jads now, which is very, very nice. Next then is at 1.4k. I did do next in this episode, but I didn't really get anything worth showing, hence why I haven't shown it. So we're closing in on that 4th next pet threshold, which is still non-existent, but I'm not really too bothered about it, because the longer I don't get the next pet for, the more motivated I keep getting, the more motivation I keep getting to do the boss, and just to get general loot and keep getting next items, so that's all good. That'll come in the future. Raids then, done a lot of raids, so we are now up to 26 Yakas, and Beastmaster, wherever Beastmaster is, we're up to 44 Beastmaster, which is not too bad. It's a shame they're not in sync, that I did camp a few Beastmasters before, actually, or after I'd looted them. I would have preferred them to be in sync, if I'm honest, but never mind. And then finally, Vorago is now, well, in the last episode we ended it at 110 KC, I think, and we are now at 193 KC, which is very, very nice. So yeah, that is it for the boss kills. Nothing majorly changed, just pretty much Jads really. That's the only main difference in here, and that's why it's boosted my KC up so much. Anyway, enough of the boss kills, let's crack on with the loot tab, and here we go then. Reorganised it a little bit, a few more items have been added in here. As we can see, we've got a 3rd effigy now. It's annoying me because my Trisk pieces have been pushed over, so they're on half and half really, which is quite annoying. So I want to get myself 2 more effigies just to fill that gap up there, and hopefully then I can stop getting effigy drops from general bosses, and it'll make it harder for me to get effigy drops, because I'd prefer sort of other rare drops than an effigy, if you know what I mean. So cash, we have 120 mil cash. 119.7 of this is from Vorago, and the rest is from Araxxor. As you did see, I got a few cash drops within this episode, which obviously have added in here. Going to be doing more Vorago when the rotation changes shortly, so hopefully this cash can increase quite nicely and we can push towards 200 mil. So we're closing in on 2 full spider legs as well. We need ourselves another bottom leg piece, which I just don't have the motivation, because just when you do bottom path in NXT, you just can't see anything. It's so dark, but I don't really want to switch to Java. So yeah, scrolling down then, we have we have just generally ores, 25k rune ore, 20k onyx bolts, which is lovely, 59 uncut onyxes now, which is road to 100. We're closing it on 100 quite nicely there. And then air bones from raids, which is very nice. I need to get back into doing God Wars 2 and just get myself general Dragon Bones and Infernal Ashes and whatnot again. And that is pretty much it. We got ourselves a second pheromone as well. No really major next item change down there, and that is pretty much it for the tab. So as you all know, every 5th episode I will be price checking this tab, and we'll be hitting the 5th episode and next episode, and we'll be able to price check this. So it'll be very nice to see what the price of this currently is. I'm aiming for max cash already, but I'm not really quite sure what it's worth. Maybe closing in on 2 bill. But yeah, that's so far so good. You know, I've almost completed my max cash series within 5 episodes. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode, and as always, thank you for all your amazing support, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.